The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And welcome all to another exciting edition of the Power Trading Hour with me, your humble, lovable, and squeezably soft host. As always, I'm way behind the curtain here. See, we normally come to you at this time.
The following takes place between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m.
Didn't hear anything. Oh, there we go. Thought they were maybe off lollygagging. They finally came in there. So we've got a market that's moving kind of higher today, and the question is, what's going on? We're at 2930 on the S&P cash, 2931. Dow's up 247. Nasdaq's up 80. We're over the 8,000 mark on the Nasdaq. Literally no fear in the market. Put in my newsletter that this is going to be the biggest single loss in a couple of years for the option market makers if this holds into tomorrow. In fact, maybe 3 or 4 years. Again, they were way, way, way off. I only lost money on one option position. Thank God I didn't pile into several more or go short. But we've seen pretty much the exact same thing in the markets, and that is continually narrower and narrower leadership. Probably the best thing to catch this long or at least medium-term trend is the summation index, which is a 19 and 38-day oscillator of, I messed up here. Give me a second, because I was going to show it to you, but then I did something wrong, because I've got my own version. It's just a little easier to tell what's going on from it, from other things. Let's get up here. Okay. Let's go back to that. Okay, now I'm ready. Here we go. Okay, here's the chart. We'll pop it up here. They call it a 5% and 10% trend if you look at the stuff from the McClellan family. But it's a fairly easy way of seeing what the participation looks like and whether or not there are more stocks coming to help the indexes on the way up or on the way down. What you want to be looking at is the center part of the summation index, or at least on my chart, it's a similar one. And it shows continually that less stocks are participating as the market goes higher and has since a little bit in the late part of August. Now, a lot of people say, well, it doesn't matter, the indexes are going higher. All I'm going to say is that the risks are inversely proportional. That means that when I see this thing going down and the market going up, that divergence tells me one thing, and that is that the leadership is incredibly narrow in the markets. And if you go back through 100 years, it's always been a harbinger of lower prices in the near future. Now, we've gone higher, but you know, it's always that last 1 or 2 or 3 or 4% of the market move that seems where everybody gets the most bullish. I don't think that there's any kind of giant pullback that loses, 33% of the market. I do, though, know that it certainly could pull back fast enough to always stop me out, and I try to avoid that. I also like to find positions, probably more than anybody else that I know as a technical analyst. I tend to wait until there's either intense screaming or intense crying before I like to put on positions. Doesn't mean you can't make money. I just kind of wait for the big fat fastball down the center of the plate and try to be a little bit more of a home run hitter than singles and doubles. That's why I really don't have a position in except one way out of the money uh, bearish position. And, you know, am I going to sit on it till tomorrow? Yeah. Things happen. Will it happen tomorrow? Probably 99% it won't, but 1% chance it does. Then I'll do well. But again, options, just on the SPYs, we're looking at something in the neighborhood of $800 million to $900 million loss to the option market makers this month on the options for the SPYs. So it's fairly extensive. There's, people make money on both sides of the market. Most of the time, it's kind of well distributed. Right now, it is for the Uber bears or Uber bulls, let me put it that way. And the one thing that always keeps me out is this, and I'll tell you the reason why. If you go back and actually dig through it, this is exactly what the market looked like, in the summation index before 9/11. Now, no one could have proved it, but the market was incredibly brittle at that time. And when surprises come, they come to the downside of the summation index over the long term. I've seen this for many years, and it just means that I love that everybody's making money. It doesn't bother me that I'm not in the market today. The reason is my biggest losses have come when this was down on the downside. Even the market didn't really look like it. There have been other times like that, Fed announcements, all kinds of stuff where I had some fairly good profits, and it all turned on a dime on me. But the markets that have all turned on a dime have all shown this same pattern, which is the market going up and breadth decidedly going down. Got a question if I can look at the NASDAQ 100 chart here, and I'll do the same thing. Pretty much the exact same thing. This thing's been going down since about the last couple of days of August, and that continues to be an issue. The worst thing you can do is tell people that there is the possibility of problems while they're making a lot of money. But you know what? The Tilray Tilray players yesterday were all giddy as all get out right before the stock almost fell in 50% in one day. It's not doing too much better today. My guess is that it actually it stops. They have to stop trading before the end of the day on it. Last I looked at it, it's 177. Euphoric markets and markets that are manic are the ones that I like to play in. We're probably a little bit closer to euphoric, but I don't think at any kind of screaming levels yet. But I'll let you know. We'll be back in.
Is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com. TFNN has just launched a Tiger Dollar sale for one weekend only. Through Tuesday, September 18th, you can get up to a 50% bonus on your Tiger Dollar purchase. Tiger Dollars never expire and can be used for any TFNN newsletter or service. TFNN has a new website launching in the coming weeks, and to celebrate, we're having a Tiger Dollar sale. For all the details and to get up to a 50% bonus on your Tiger Dollar purchase today, visit the front page of TFNN.com before this sale ends Tuesday. Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
I'm back. Well, that was interesting. Okay, so what else do we have happening? No, I'm on. Okay. We'll move that on out there. Oh, I guess we need to do a little history.
And it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
On this day in 1960, California hot rodder Mickey Thompson makes another shot at the world land speed record. Thompson had become the first American to travel faster than 400 miles per hour on 4 wheels when he piloted his Challenger 1, a car that he designed and built himself across the Utah Bonneville Salt Flats at 406 miles an hour. This drive made Thompson the fastest man on wheels, but not officially. In order to win a place in the land speed records, you had to do it both ways. Thompson's car broke down in the middle of his second run, necessitating a follow-up attempt where he did it again. This would probably, he had a big deal in the 60s. This would have probably been enough history for any one man. Him and his wife, though, gunned down in the driveway of their house in 1988. No one could find anybody to arrest until 2001. Apparently, his partner in the business had set the whole thing up. Multiple trials all the way through 2008. But there was seems like an absolute mountain of evidence that later came out in 2001 when he was arrested. And if you ever catch any of the whodunit stuff on the crime channels, cable crime channels, one of the better whodunit things, a very interesting tale of how justice actually finally came to him in 2001. The guy had hired two guys to ride on bicycles up to the house as they were coming out and gun them down. They were never found, and he of course still says he's innocent, so he's never ratted them out yet. But doesn't do him any good. He's going to be in jail for the rest of his life. The partner, of course, Doesn't do any of the Thompsons any good, but a life of history. Okay, what else do we have going on? Want to get to some charts today. Had a lot of stuff. I wanted to see how they're doing. This is a good time to start checking, so we'll go through as many as possible today. ALB, which is a stock that I never seem to pronounce right, so I'm going to decide not to try to pronounce it again. Albemarle, well, I did it anyway. Albemarle, whatever it is. ALB is the symbol on it. $2,770,000 shares at 106.06. That's back on May 1st. This company is big in making lithium for electric vehicles, up testing that previous high that had 2.7 million shares today with 835,000 shares so far. Energy actually is fairly good on an earnings boost back on to August 8th with 5 million shares when this thing came up. But since then, it's been rather quiet for volume. Certainly going through this high, you can hear the crickets on that light volume. Other stocks of interest that are testing previous highs, wanted to see how they're doing in this is Air Products. Now, you've probably seen Air Products trucks and don't think about it. These companies run around a lot of times with these big trucks that look very much like they're going to drop gasoline off at your local quick stop. What they're really taking is nitrogen and oxygen and helium and hydrogen, other CO2, a lot of stuff for industrial applications. And it's not uncommon to see liquid nitrogen trucks and other things if people need that for their manufacturing. This is a good indication how strong the manufacturing sector is, and also kind of a little bit of the medical sector at the same time. This thing gapped down back on the 26th of January, like a lot of stocks did, came down on 2.7 million shares. Now, the question is, what are we doing today? We're back up into the gap of 325 million shares. BSX, which is Boston Scientific, had a nice spike back on June the 11th to $37.30 with 34 million shares. Today, we're doing about 2.7 million shares as we go above that high. Cube, C-U-B-E, one testing its lows today. This is where I'll be looking to do my shopping on these stocks testing lows with lighter volume if I wanted to go long. $29.36. That's July 27th with 2.4 million shares. Yesterday, you got into 1.6 million shares, getting back into the trading range today, but not much volume, 650,000 shares. Yep. To Dow Jones Industrial Average, we are busting through that January 26th high of 2018 that had 7 million shares. So far, we've done 3.1 million shares in the DIA. Not a good thing. Energy's been fairly light off this June 28th low at 234.51 for the DIA. One of the recent IPOs that I kind of like and been waiting is coming back to the support area, which is right around 50 bucks and 51 bucks. Seen a couple of lows out here on June 28th and July 30th. Those had more than 2 million shares. Not bad day today at 900,000 shares. Talked a lot about Tilray the last day. You want to talk about another stock that's actually legal and got drugs on the market? That is GW Pharmaceuticals of England. They're the only company that can actually sell by prescription marijuana-based drugs. This one going through the roof today with 2.33 million shares compared to the high on June 1st that had 345,000 shares. So there is some contagion from the Tilray story. LGIH Homes out testing its previous low of August 6th that had 850,000 shares with 265,000 shares so far today. So I don't know if I'd be diving into that one, but if I was short, I think you got a fairly good signal that that one's doesn't have a lot of juice. L3 Communications, this one looked like one of the more weaker ones. $217 on January 29th with 1.4 million shares. Got into a fourth of that yesterday with 100,000 shares. This one rolled over and accelerated to much lower today. So some of these semis continue to look weaker at the high. We'll be back in a minute.
The Path of Least Resistance, David White's daily market letter, gives you trade recommendations based on David's proprietary power law vector indicator that put the odds of success overwhelmingly in your favor. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price for each stock and option trade. David combines his years of trading experience along with his background in technology and computing to offer his subscribers his take on the markets on a daily basis. Every trading day by 9:30, David publishes his morning issue of The Path of Least Resistance, along with updates sent out throughout the week whenever there is new actionable trading information. All new subscribers receive a 30-day, no questions asked, money-back guarantee. To sign up for David White's daily trading newsletter right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Directions Daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
You can give me a call at 877-927-6648. Put a message in my email, and we're going to look at some of the other stuff today. Got some questions out here. InBev, a short squeeze. We talked about that yesterday. Maybe we got another one, same thing. Talked about it yesterday. So you can go back to that one. Okay, what else do we have? Okay, got a few other ones here. Let me get rid of some of this stuff so I can get out here. Okay. Okay. Just wanted to get through all this stuff, get caught up. Anyway, L3 Communications, we'll get back to this in a second. Wanted to go through some of the earnings out today. Earnings have been about 90% negative through the last 8 or 9 days. And Darden Restaurants has a wow candle out here today. This one got to 124 earlier in the day. It's rolled over and given it all up. Talk about a bearish engulfing candle. If this holds up through the day, takes you back to September 4th and everything in this. I thought it was very interesting that it did so well on earnings when restaurant business is fairly down. The conference call was already over when this thing started. So I'm not exactly sure what changed during this, during the day, but that is some of the other stuff going on. Other stocks of interest out here are THO, which is Thor Industries, one of the bigger losers of the day out here. What do we have? Yeah. Okay. Just wanted to see if I had anything new on it. Off 13% on earnings out last night after the bell. I don't know if there's a whole lot you can say about it other than higher gas prices are a problem for this company that makes RVs. And anytime the price goes up, their price generally goes down. Red Hat also lower today. It's off 7%. This thing, we got a couple of times in the newsletter. I didn't have the confidence to hold it through that earnings back on, what is that, June 22nd, when this thing came down 14.4 million shares. It got back in there, pretty much filled about half the gap, never got any better, was one of the weaker bounces of the summer. And this has come back down. It is only a couple of bucks above the June 28th low that had 2.7 million, 2.8 million shares. Already had 8 million shares today. There is a theme, and that theme is that you probably can't go it alone against the big, large web services companies. But as more and more people choose to use Amazon Web Services and Microsoft's Azure and Google's web services and everybody else of the big 3 or 4, there aren't that many people left that need individual support like Red Hat gives. And because everybody in those companies, you know, they do everything internally. So yeah, I get the question, is this over yet? I think there's still a decent business out here, but not the business that took this to 177. This is kind of get the, where's my loser horn? I wanted to play that today, and I can't find the darn loser horn. I'll find it here. Okay. No, it's a trap.
It's a trap.
No, that's the wrong one. I can't find it. Well, I don't know what happened to it. I must click on this stuff and just delete stuff occasionally. Anyway, Red Hat, the big loser next to Thor Industries. But, you know, 7%, probably not the worst in the world. But this retest out here on the heavy volume continues to be problematic. I have a question in the den to look at AXTA. This thing has been making some nice bottoming signals. I like the fact that it had this nice, long, slow pullback from May 22nd into the low on September 14th. You came into that with significantly lighter volume, and you tested to the penny the low of February 6th that had 3.7 million shares with less than half. So you have a definitive bottom out here at this 28.92 of September 14th. That would have any closed back into the trading range would have been a signal that you could have bought it. So looks good out here. These guys make coating systems. This is a pretty huge business. We all think of industrial coatings, which these guys do. But from coatings on glass, like Gorilla Glass, to coatings on metal and ceramic, a lot of this materials sector has some huge margins in it. These guys also make Imron paint for aviation, the aviation business. I think this was part of the old Dow business in this coating, if I'm not mistaken. I can't find it. Maybe they bought it. Anyway, nice low out here, nice trading range. You've got a high back at 32.83, and that's probably where this thing is going to go back and head on the move today. Probably, if you're a short-term trader, look for one more gap higher. And I think that would probably, probably go sideways and consolidate those wins there. Okay, let's go ahead and check our email for more power trading hour goodness. Give me a call, 877-927-6648. Let's go back to some of the other stocks that I've been waiting to see how they would react to all-time highs. Norwegian cruise ship, the Ebola Express, the way I call them. April 24th, $57.37, almost 3 million shares. Today we've got 631,000 shares. A couple days ago you had 2 million shares, but certainly not getting into those highs with any kind of significantly stronger volume. Roku, wanted to see how some of these were doing today with almost no pullback. Roku keeps going up, but the volume has been pathetic since the move up on the 9th of August. That had, 39 million shares. Is that the 9th? Yeah. Yeah, 9th of August. We'll talk more about this when we come back. Talk about the stock we haven't talked about for a while, out with new products today, GoPro.
Hi folks, Tom O'Brien here. If you'd like to get my daily newsletter, Market Insights, then now is a great time to sign up for a 30-day free trial. Every morning by 9:30, I send out my morning letter to subscribers with market commentary on a variety of markets, currencies, and commodities to keep investors up to date on the day's trading action. Included in Market Insights are specific buy and sell recommendations for stocks, ETFs, and even options, with stops and price targets included for every trade in my newsletter. If you'd like to try my newsletter risk-free for 30 days, then head over to the front page of TFNN and you'll find Market Insights under Trading Newsletters. I use my years of trading experience to bisect and dissect the market every morning and give my subscribers the most important information they need to know for the day ahead. I even issue afternoon updates for my subscribers whenever warranted with important market action. I'm always scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to my daily newsletter, Market Insights, today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Wow! Go get 'em, folks. Hi, folks. This is Tom O'Brien. If you'd like to be the bank and get the type of interest they receive instead of the low interest rates they give to clients, then I have an investment you may want to take a look at. I'm offering 4-year secured first mortgages on buildable city lots in St. Petersburg, Florida. The investment can be anywhere from $30,000 to $75,000 per buildable city lot. The interest paid is 7% per year, paid monthly. Depending on the investment, the income per month per lot ranged from $175 for a $30,000 investment to $437.50 for a $75,000 investment. If you are in the CD market, you want to look at this investment. St. Petersburg is located in Pinellas County, which is the densest county in Florida. If you're looking for an investment with your principal intact that pays a good interest rate, this may be for you. The supply is limited, so act now. For more information on these secured first mortgage opportunities, you can call me at 877-518-9190. That's 877-518-9190. 9190.
The TAS Profile Scanner Plus, developed by John Logan and his team, is a standalone piece of software that can change the way you trade. Let the TAS Profile Scanner work for you by scanning over 5,000 financial instruments such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. Right now, you can get a 30-day free trial to the TAS Profile Scanner Plus right at TFNN.com. And when you sign up, you gain instant access to John Logan's most recent webinar, How Price, Volume, and Time Make Market Profile So Unique. This hour-long webinar with John Logan will walk you through the most powerful features of the scanner and how you can use it to become a more successful and profitable trader. You pay absolutely nothing for 30 days while you try out this software risk-free. For more information on the TAS Profile Scanner and to get your 30-day free trial today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
And I think I answered all the questions so far. Make sure we have anything else. Anyway, we were talking about Roku. No signal on this one yet. Looking every bit the GoPro of last year. GoPro did come out with some fairly nice cameras, getting fairly decent reviews. But the problem is that you can buy a camera for $30 from China that's 90% as good as a GoPro. That's $400. And the question is it worth spending the other $360? You know, if you're a big-time production company on cable television or making a movie, certainly worth buying the more expensive GoPro. They're much cheaper than real cameras that you might buy for production. But kind of tough to see. You got a little bit of a move out here in GoPro. Again, always monster short sale numbers on this one, GPRO. Yesterday 30 some odd percent, 34% daily shorts, and on the long term 12 days to cover. So you always have to keep an eye on GoPro on the possibility this thing actually does take off like a Roman candle, just based on the massive amount of short interest, which is almost 25 million shares. So a lot of people short this continuing. So you got to keep an eye on these companies. I don't know if it goes any higher, but I certainly would be covering my short positions if I had one on this. RXN is the Rexnor Corporation, another one testing its previous high of 2 million shares with 1 million shares. This one with a little doji star out here, so going to be interesting to watch the open on that one tomorrow. To SHPG, which is Shire, the biotech company, as this comes into a gap that's been around for a while. The last major high, April 19th, with 10 million shares. Yesterday, you had 1 million shares. Today, you got 600,000 shares. So we're coming into options expiration. Anything can happen. Not unheard of having extremely fat tails into options X. And we're certainly having that. Let's look at this one just a little bit farther back on Shire. You're back to this gap down that goes to May 25th of 2017. You did that on, let's make sure, let me zoom in so I can get a little better view of it, on 1.66 million shares. So today's move up on 600,000 shares, problematic. Even yesterday, 1 million shares, problematic into what should be fairly stiff resistance. Let's take a look at IBB. That's it. So you're up, not, but man, look at that volume. Just pathetic so far today. 877,000 shares, 999,000 shares yesterday, 1.1 before, compared to 2 million shares on the way down back on the 6th of September. So certainly a lot of these sectors are not getting the love and sector rotation. This is where we really get to separate the wheat from the chaff in this market. Underarm, question of whether or not it is making a big ABC on the way back up. Let's take a quick look at this. If you look at the longer ABC, it's done a 50% retracement bounce today. Did so with very good volume too. Today's volume, almost 8 million shares already. Not a bad looking ABC formation. It started with a good gap up back on February 12th. Consolidated out, ran up to 24.69, back down to a low yesterday of 18.45. So a 1-to-1 ABC gets you to $30.64. So there aren't a lot of stocks that look like maybe they got room to run. This one does. The downside, $25, some fairly massive resistance. So it's going to get back to $30. Going to take a while to chew through that. Again, when this got down on the 31st of January in 2017, it did so with 54 million shares. So there's a lot of people still wanting their money back. But you know what? Just literally not a lot of volume. Very light volume from that June 7th high this year to yesterday's low. And I think if you were thinking retail, not a bad play as long as this thing doesn't close back below $18.45. VTV. Vanguard Value testing its previous highs. 2.8 million, 2.9 million shares on January 29th at 112.23. We've gone to 113.15, and we're at about a third of the volume of that high. So people not going after value apparently today. They're going after the Momo stocks. As we talked the other day, rather expansively, we were looking at Watt. This thing, I wanted to track it over a couple of days, up a little bit today, 217,000 shares. So this is a fairly light volume stock at the moment. Whirlpool, what do we got here? This thing's got maybe a longer time. Fairly close to coming out and testing the 117.60 low. That's the January 20th of 2016 low. You know what? It's been, you had a huge gap down. It's been kind of working and ratcheting its way back to this 117.60. Got to 121.12. What was that? A couple of days ago. Still need to work down a little bit more, but talking about some fairly big washouts, that may actually be coming into some level of support at that 117, 118 level. Mr. Zillow coming in to an area of support, which is the April 27th low, $46.25, 1.6 million shares. You need to close back above 46.25 to confirm. I dislike the fact that this did come down on heavier energy off that June 15th high, though. So not one of the better ones. And, of course, it's brother ZG. Let's take a quick look. MasterCard and Visa at highs. So we'll see if there's anything out here that says anything has changed. Nothing on MasterCard, a little higher. Yesterday's volume, 2.9 million shares to 2 million shares so far. So we'll see how the end of the day comes in. Visa, the same thing, I would imagine. So you've got that one. Yesterday's 7.4 million shares, 3 million shares. So Visa certainly on volume looks like the much weaker of those two today. MasterCard looking stronger. Question about the SMHs, which we'll get into our next segment. Thanks for the emails today from everybody. We'll come back and wrap this up. A little bit of discussion about the SMHs.
No matter what kind of trader you are, 2018 is a great time to try out a subscription to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report. Whether you just plan on diversifying your portfolio with some exposure to gold and gold mining equities, or you're a gold bull that sees 2018 as the year of commodities, now is a great time to sign up for the Gold Report. Tom O'Brien publishes his Gold Report every Monday morning before the market opens and covers a variety of topics including gold, silver, platinum, copper, the XAU and HUI, the dollar, bonds, South African rand, as well as more than 20 of the most actively traded mining equities. Start your 2018 off with a bang and sign up for the Gold Report today. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. For all the details and to start your subscription right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find the Gold Report under Investment Newsletters. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
I'm certain you are or strive to be one of the best at everything you do in life. It's the most common trait that we tigers and tigresses share. If you're looking to become the best of the best when it comes to managing your money, let me teach you to do what most wealth managers tell you can't be done, which is how to time the markets. I'm Steve Rhodes, author of Mastering Probability, and for the last 12 months, Timer Digest has been tracking my newsletter signals, which have earned me the ranking as their #1 market timer in the nation for the S&P 500 for the last 12, 6, and 3 months. Timer Digest also ranks me as the #1 market timer for gold as well. The fact is, markets can be timed, and I'll teach you the exact set of tools that I use that has transformed me into one of the best at what I do. Sign up for Mastering Probability today by clicking on the newsletter tab on the homepage of TFNN.com and get immediate access to workshops where I take you step by step how to use an extraordinary set of tools, as well as provide great market calls too. Sign up today.
Catch Tom O'Brien, professional trader and educator, founder of TFNN. Also, a special guest on CNBC. Tom will bisect and dissect the markets. The Tom O'Brien Show, next on TFNN.
Well, why the big indexes are hitting highs, the semiconductors certainly aren't. This thing's been in a bigger triangle pattern for a while. Not a lot of interesting stuff you can say about it. The SMH is up with 4.3 million shares today compared to 3.4 million shares today. But that is going back into this 9 million share day on the 6th of September. So we're getting a lot of these stocks that have been not the leaders, especially the broader SMHs out here. We're going up into higher levels on very light volumes in some of these downtrends. So I'm looking for some kind of big news to happen. Of course, that big news may be tonight with Micron. Micron reports right after the bell tonight. I think generally at 4:05. I didn't look, but I think that's when it is. This thing's come off of its highs. It double tested the previous high at 63.42 that had 142 million shares with 84 million shares, and it's been going back since then. Energy is starting to slowly come down. You had a huge kind of washout coming back to the 4th, 5th, and 6th of September. You're kind of coming back up into these huge downtrends that had 94 million shares. And of course, today you've got 47 million shares. On the high end, if the earnings are good, you got about $50 in this thing. I'm hoping that it comes back and starts making some light volume lows around 40, and that may set up a nice run for next year. We talked last week about going after Qualcomm when everybody hated it in the summer and selling it when everybody was pretty euphoric. And this would be the same kind of setup out here. You want everybody to hate it. I'm hoping they miss so I can get some stock much lower prices. In the meantime, sell when you can, not when you have to. See you here tomorrow. Same bat channel, same bat time.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.